commemorating today. 6 million Jews were exterminated, including 1.2 million children. They were shot, they were burned, they were buried alive, and they were gassed. The scale of the killing is difficult to imagine. Only in one concentration camp, Auschwitz, towards the end of the war, 10,000 people were killed, were gassed every single day. I've just come back, literally this afternoon, from Brussels, where last night we commemorated International Holocaust Remembrance Day, presence of the President of the European Parliament, and about 500 people, including MEPs and guests from all over the world. It was one of the most moving events I have ever witnessed. This week, the European Parliament decreed that International Holocaust Day will be celebrated and commemorated every single year from now on and forever. We heard testimonies from elderly survivors. We were shown stills and films that made it even more difficult to understand how a human being can turn against another with such hate and cruelty for no other reason than he is the other. The one with a different color or religion or race. While the Holocaust primarily targeted the Jews, it is only befitting to the memory of the 6 million victims that that day commemorate all genocide and all atrocities. The Armenian, the Kurdish, the Balkans, Congo, Rwanda, and others. As Robin and Margaret mentioned in their literacy that they sent us, the Holocaust was the culmination of a series of social, cultural, and political development that took place over a period of time. And we must be vigilant to detect early signs of dehumanizing a sector of the population. Meeting survivors of all these atrocities who recount their experiences of brutality and atrocity, it becomes clear that they too are victims just as much as the murdered ones. We heard last night a 92-year-old man who recounted that almost every hour of his life, he recalls how he was separated in Auschwitz from his father and from his siblings. For some reason, he was chosen to remain alive, and he survived. Yet for this 92-year-old man could never free himself from that memory and from the guilt that he survived and the rest didn't. I myself had to flee my birthplace, where my ancestors lived for 2,600 years. I flee with my family like a criminal in the night. A criminal whose only crime is to be born as the other. Today, I am the other. I am the black, I'm the Jew, I'm the Kurd, I'm the Armenian, I'm the Westerner, I'm the Sunni, and I'm the Shia. We, the fortunate few, who were granted asylum in this hospitable and generous country, where we were able to rebuild our shattered lives, should work tirelessly to help others less fortunate than us. And I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of many of you and all of you who were born outside this country, we will be eternally grateful to this country, to Great Britain.
Yeah.
And even now, 40 years after my escape, the sight of a policeman fills me with fear. My heart begins to pound uncontrollably. As you said, sir, trauma never you are never free of the trauma. We owe it to those less fortunate than us to remember and to promise to do anything we can not to repeat. The victims, the survivors, the refugees, the traumatized. And we must never think of these annual events as commemorating a historical event. We must think of them more like an opportunity for us to conduct a human check. The gentleman I also saw, I went to that museum, and I also heard that voice say, I never believed it can be happening here. But it did. The Holocaust happened here, in seemingly civilized Europe, within almost our living memory, because every German who lived that time was complicit, somehow or another, in the extermination, either by doing or by not doing. We must conduct a human check not only on the society we live in, but more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we must conduct a human check on our own hearts and how we perceive the other. Thank you.
Thank you.